Once upon a long time ago, in a village far, far away, from deep in the black country came four men who would change music forever. No one knows where they came from, no one knows why they bothered, and they were just beaten to stardom by four mop-haired lads from Liverpool. This is their story. Al,
Yo!
Fred,
That's me.
Les,
Hello!
and Bingo!
You are?
The Butles!
Love, love you, duck. I couldn't give a fig. Would you like a touch of black contradiction, baby?
In an interview with Al Beast, one of the lead singers, he tells us what it was like in the early days.
Well, Harry, a lot of groups played a lot of crap in those days, as you know. And well, what can I say? We just happened to be good at it.
Black country rock.
The stuff we played would make your hair stand up on the back of your neck, mate. And not only that, I'll tell you something else. Your spine would tingle.
There's a word for that, isn't there, I believe?
What's that then, Harry?
Spinal crap.
Spinal crap! What are you trying to say, Harry?
The story really starts when they send a demo tape to EMI Records in 1962. The producer of the day, a Mr. Martin George, listens to his demos. The first is from a new four-piece from Liverpool called the Beatles, and he is not impressed with what he hears. He then listens to the Butles' latest demo and is knocked out by the fantastic sound. He decides to get them in for an audition immediately. However, Miss Spells, his dyslexic secretary, mistakenly invites the Beatles, and the rest is history.
Love, love you, duck. I couldn't give a fig. Would you like
Undeterred, the Butles continue to wow the crowds in Bilston, Tipton and Darlaston. Bootles, Bootles, boo, 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 scream the crowds wherever the band play. Very soon, for quickness, they just shout boo. Determined to be successful, the Bootles appoint Mr. Alfred Leslie as their manager to give them the much needed push in the right direction.
black country rock?
Alfred impresses them by splashing out on a Grundig cassette recorder, and the following lunchtime, the boys record their first single, Love a Duck.
Hickory dock, baby. Black country rock.
This storms into the Tipton Top 10, peaking at number 7, which by coincidence was the number of records actually sold. When asked why they gave such a massive job to this little-known entrepreneur, Al, Fred, Les and Lee, that's Bingo's real name, said,
There was something about Al, Fred, Leslie that seemed familiar, but we could never quite put our finger on it.
The Bootles, now undisputed masters of two chords, confound their critics by learning a third, and soon knock up their next hit song.
Da-da-dum-dum, da-da-da. Da-da-dum-dum, da-da-da. If there's any little thing that you want, anything at all that you need, call me on the phone and I'll come. I'll do whatever I can for me and you. For me
This song,
and you.
For Me and You, reaches number 14 in the Tipton Top 10, and Alfred tells his boys,
Well, lads, it's obviously done twice as good as the last one. That only reached number 7.
he was very good at fooling them with statistics, was old Alfred. An EP quickly follows of both songs, and for weeks the group continued to ride high in the Tipton charts. This record, For Me and You, is especially significant because it is the first time that we hear the Bootles' trademark of rushing to the microphones and screaming "woo" whilst shaking their heads violently. When asked on Top of the Pops whether the single was any good, many critics also shook their heads violently. Pretty soon this leads to frenzied scenes at the Bootles' gigs, The crowd scream while shaking their heads, hardly believing what they are seeing. Undeterred, the Butles dodge the missiles and mistakenly think success has arrived.
I got lips to kiss, got my eyes on you. I got everything that you need. I got every
The hard work pays off, however, as the boys are soon voted the third best band in their street. Tell me, Al, how many bands were there in your street?
Well, Ali, 3.
By now, the boys are writing songs at a phenomenal rate, and Alfred books them into a studio to record their first album. It takes all afternoon. Fortune and fame seem just around the corner. Unfortunately for the Butles, it stayed there.